and welcome to Season 2 of Chair League. The league where everybody just sits down and has a good time.
On their chairs.
On their chairs. You like that,
Although,
Josh? That's
I
good.
think, yeah, it's good. I think you can use a stool. Like, it's not against the rules to
Yeah.
use a stool or other seating arrangement that is not strictly a chair. But chairs, I believe, are encouraged, by the way.
They are very encouraged. They're very encouraged.
I think standing desks are out. Because there's no, like, you're not sitting in any way.
Yeah. Yeah, no question. So right now we're getting everything set up. This is actually a Division 2 game. There's divisions now. So let's just give like a quick rundown while getting set up. Josh, you want to do that while I get all this fun admin stuff set up in the background?
I would love to do that. So, divisions. Last season, we had only a single massive division. And that division was, I believe, called Grizzly Chair. Like, I think they call that season Grizzly Chair. And now, after one season of Chair League, we're able to separate teams into divisions based on those performances. And I'm actually, maybe you would know better than I'm not sure on the exact method through which teams will graduate between divisions, but the intent, of course, is to have matches that are close, where both teams can learn something, and everybody can walk away feeling like they were able to like use team coordination and basically grow as a team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Obviously, if you get straight stomped by a team, you might be able to learn some things, but they're different things than if you fought a close match against a team that maybe is better suited to your skill level. So Division 2 is technically the third division, as there's a Pro Division, a Division 1, and a Division 2. And I actually don't know how far the divisions go down. Is it to 4?
3.
Is it 3? Okay. And then there's placement games also, which are for
and there's going to be lots of placement matches here over the next few weeks.
All right.
For sure. Okay, so we've got our teams in. We're going to start the draft in a second. The map tonight is Cursed Hollow.
It's good. I mean, I'm glad we're starting on Cursed Hollow because it seems like so many best of 3 series in competitive Heroes start on it. I know that this is just a single game, but it seems like one of those maps that so many teams are comfortable playing, and I think it's a good way to start the season. It's a well-balanced map where a variety of strategies can come into play, and I think it'll be good just opener for these two teams.
Yeah, I completely agree. Before we get started, you want to tell the fine folks what this cool little ticker is right down here?
Boy, do we have a treat for you. So the folks at Chair League have been hard at work. We have actually like live ticker scores and times that games are starting. So you can see that, and that is standardized across all Chair League broadcasts. I believe all the casters are using it.
Yes.
So this is going to be pretty cool stuff. Looks pretty official. I like it.
Yeah, we esports now, Josh.
This is now esports. Like, it can now be declared.
Yeah.
We have entered the esports realm.
Freaking esports. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, we're going to switch over to the draft. The links are going to go out to the captains.
Okay.
All right. Boom. Got the observer link there, Josh?
I do. I'm waiting for this draft to start.
This is going to be Power Raynors versus House of Chez. House of Cheese. Chez? Is it Chez?
Okay, so it's either I actually thought about this beforehand. It's either Chez, which I believe to be the case, or it could be Chez, like the French word Chez, but I don't think it is because this guy's name is Chez Mix. So I think this person is making a joke about cheese. But anyways, I guess we're in the draft. Power Raynors with first pick, first ban. And I don't know. There's a lot of options now. The game has changed a lot since the last time we cast Chair League.
Yeah. And to clarify, Kel'Thas is banned. because of his very, very significant bug that is getting fixed tomorrow.
And so is another pointy-eared assassin as Illidan in his band, right off the top by Power Raynors. I like it. I wouldn't want to play against that either. Falstad getting banned. Still has that low cooldown on his Gust, but will only have that until tomorrow when it is increased to a 60-second cooldown. And Power Raynors picking up the Li Ming. First pick, I like it. She's also seeing some hits, some big hits tomorrow.
Yes, she is. Getting a lot of reworks. And
really,
also, just FYI, if Gaul gets picked, it's actually Dahaka. Because apparently Dahaka is not on Top Drafter.
Oh,
at least I'm being told by one of the team captains.
I mean, we could have used something like Gazlowe, honestly.
But Gazlowe's awesome now, Josh.
Oh, I disagree, but... So, Uther Jaina for House of Chez. I mean, first pick Uther is kind of interesting. I wonder if it's like they're trying to pick for their support player so he doesn't have to play something really ridiculous.
It could be. It could be a comfort pick. Though we have seen Raynor kind of spike in popularity again. A little bit after the Rhaegar nerf, honestly.
Yeah. Okay, so we're in chat. We're saying that they're saying we're picking Dahaka, and they're gonna pick Gaul to signify Dahaka.
Yep.
So that's fine. Or Rexar, apparently. I guess you can't just pick Gaul, maybe.
Rexar's Dahaka. Okay. Can't pick Gaul. Rexar's Dahaka.
Rexar
We won't be
is
seeing Misha and our half-orc, half-ogre friend.
How far the mighty have fallen.
I know.
Rexar is simply a stand-in for Dahaka.
He's simply a stand-in for Dahaka. That's
really
so sad.
He's actually one of my favorite warriors in the game. And when he came out, I remember before he could micro the bear, a lot of people were like, this character sucks. And then I remember Jaximus played it at the NA Regional, and I was just like in love with the character.
Yeah, for
anyway,
sure.
Sorry. Reminiscing.
No, you're good.
Ban.
Thrall ban, not surprising. Thrall, an amazing laner. And Power Raynors having Zagara, especially on Curse Hall, that's a pretty big deal when with the map size and the vision she's going to provide. And also with the map size, we saw this in Heroes of the Dorm, Josh. Nidus Network split push on another large map, Sky Temple.
It's definitely a possibility that we see Nidus Network here. I think... Honestly, it could still be Maw, but I like, this is one thing actually I think a lot of people didn't realize about Dahaka. It sucks that he doesn't have a mount, but the fact that he can go across the map instantaneously is scary.
Yeah.
He appears in
a bush. He could be anywhere.
It's really scary, and especially if you're that Jaina, you're not getting Ice Block till 20 if you take it. That is a terrifying thing to contend with. So
it really is. Should we call him House of Chez?
I like Chez. Let's
go with Chez. So House of Chez taking their time, and they pick Raynor. Kind of a blow to the Power Raynors, wouldn't you say, Josh?
I feel like this is a targeted pick, Like they're against Power Raynors, and they're like, we got to take this from them. Who knows what to do with it?
Because then they will have lost their power.
Yeah,
and I mean, if you think about it.
I think if you're House of Chez, I would actually consider taking... okay, well, they're not going to do that. I was going to say you could hide your last pick if you want. Pick your warrior right now. They're not going to do that. Hey, look who's still available. Muradin, which is probably going to be Chez's last pick. But Power Raynors got to pick up a support. And honestly, they could do a lot of things with their other pick.
Yeah.
They could go melee. They could go double warrior. They could just go triple range, although that sort of is falling out of favor recently.
I was going to say, well, they've got their support they need to pick up still. So I would... Brightwing, not a bad support at all, actually, especially on this big map. But I could totally see a double warrior coming out of them, because Dahaka is not... He could be, but he's not necessarily a main tank.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be solo Dahaka. That's my guess. I won't see a melee here. There's a few options, or you could go Greymane.
Greymane would be a really good choice, I think, with this comp.
He actually fits really well into a triple range because he can become a melee. So I actually like it a lot, but they're going to go with double warrior.
It is the double
you
warrior.
Called it right.
Yep.
So I
Yeah,
worry about
and
that because I feel like
Johanna's good.
I just feel like it leaves them a little bit low on damage. And then solo tank Stitches. Let's do this. Oh
Well,
my!
technically, both teams have double warrior, Josh.
Oh, yeah, I don't really count Sonya. I don't count. I don't count Eminem.
No.
I do not.
But yeah, you're right though. I mean, looking at this lineup, House of Chez is stacked on damage.
You know, I wonder if you're right about the Nidus thing, and it's gonna be Brightwing can teleport into Saver if she gets like rotated onto in lane.
Yeah.
And you just push, like the team is hard to kill. They'll have an early game advantage, and then if they could get that early XP lead, they could ride that to the victory line. You know, like right to the finish line. So
They could, and not only that, the new Nidus is crazy because not only can Zagara get in super fast, cast it while she's inside of it to make another one, but it heals her just as much as if she was in the Hall of Storms.
yeah, it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot. I don't actually like the split push playstyle, so I hope it doesn't become like the meta pick.
Yeah.
Because I think we all remember, or I mean, I know a lot of people remember, including UTBK, the promote meta, which was like the most toxic thing in the world.
That was just super annoying all the time.
It was so annoying. Like, it was not fun to watch. Pros hated it. So hopefully split push doesn't become too important in the meta, but
yeah.
Certainly I think that's a great option. And even, Zagara's great at delaying those caps too. So if she is post 10 and her team isn't able to get there right away to the tribute, like, she can get in there and delay things.
Yep.
So
very much so.
I'm leaning Nidus Worm now. Honestly, I'd be surprised to see Maw. This is such a great map for Nidus Worm, so if they're comfortable with it, it'd be really cool to see.
See, yeah, and this is exactly what I want. I want that. Like, it's just cool to see Zagara having the option for something else, right?
Yeah, I mean, there was no option forever.
No, there wasn't.
And and I think that's what Blizzard wants too, based on those patch notes that we saw today for tomorrow's patch.
Yeah, I completely agree. All right, well, we are in game.
Heroes. All right.
Our wonderful blue team, the Power Raynors. We have Hollis on Johanna, Giggle Pants. Ah, what a fun name on Brightwing. It's so appropriate. A-Rate on Li Ming, the Stink on Dahaka, and Awfulus on Zagara.
And on the red side, the House of Chez.
House of Chez.
Super Saiyan Hot Dog on Raynor. Flash. I don't know if the StarCraft Pro Flash is playing Hots now on Stitches. Caribou on Uther. Death 1300S on Sonya. And the namesake of the House of Chez, Chez Mix, playing Jaina.
Well, no party bushes here today, Josh. Everyone's just split up into their lanes. Stitches is kind of fishing, but comes out empty.
Yeah, it's actually funny because we have to hawk a top against Sonya, and you sort of expect a Sonya-Zagara matchup in a lot of cases, but it looks like that's not what's going to happen. And there's a little bit of pressure in the mid here, but really, both teams just trying to feel out what the other team is going for. No rotations as yet.
In the bottom lane, we have a solo Zagara versus Jaina and Uther. Zagara actually could really hold off well. She's probably the best for this 1v2 lane.
Yeah, no, that's true. She just has to be careful because if she gets hit by a stun or the blizzard, the other thing is that she didn't get hit by is going to hit her. So yeah, it's really crucial that she be careful with her positioning, but you're right that she's probably a good tech here to go 1v2.
Yeah, the top lane depends on talent-wise. It looks like Dahaka ended up going with the enhanced agility for the movement speed, so he didn't take the minion clearing talent at level 1, so Sonya should win this lane up top pretty handily.
Yeah, that's going to be a rough lane for Dahaka. You never want to, honestly, you want to sort of be able to roam around in a lot of cases, and it really sucks that in this case you can't.
Yeah.
in the middle here, Stitches trying to make it look like maybe they're going to do something. Just taking a lot of unnecessary damage. Lands the hook on Brightwing, but no follow-up. And now Super Saiyan Hot Dog getting very low. Gets hit by the Arcane Flare, but I think he's going to make it out.
Yeah, he should have his passive up still, so he should be okay on that. Like you said, I'm very surprised that Dahaka is up by himself and that Li Ming or maybe even Johanna is not up top to allow the Dahaka to roam a little bit, because really his Brush Stalker is getting wasted right now.
And I think that that's kind of the downside really to this strategy is not only is he not using Brush Stalker, but he doesn't have the talent for wave clear, like you said. So he's not a good solo laner in this instance, and he really has the opportunity to create some plays on the map, but he's not being given that opportunity with this triple mid lane for Power Raynors.
Yeah, and not only that, the triple mid lane really isn't doing that much.
No, it is not. And as you say that, we have a tribute spawning near the top. The Haka's not looking too bad here, actually, you know, all things considered. And I really like that the Sonya is threatening him, basically saying, you come in here, I'll get you. Stitch is going to try and start the cap here.
Okay, so Dahaka comes around, Brightwing does pour in, grabs the Vision talent, actually. Lots of damage going out onto Stitches. Polymorph is going to cause him to force back. Nice burrow there to pretty much ignore that entire Blizzard.
Yeah, and again, this is oh wow, Li Ming getting hit by Sonya, gets blown up. Dahaka very low, Sonya forced to back up, but now it's looking like maybe House of Chez is going to take this.
Yeah, House of Chez actually doing a really good job. Sonya went super aggressive, and the Power Raynors just weren't ready to handle that, and Li Ming was a little bit out of position, a little too far ahead. And this is, in my mind, probably one of the worst things about having a Dahaka solo warrior, is that when you have your W up, you become immune to collision.
Yeah.
And normally that's really good, because then you can go through to their back line, you can get yourself out of like sticky situations, but at the same time you cannot body block for your team. And so Johanna's really going to need to make sure that she's out in front, body blocking for her team, while the Dahaka is harassing that back line or pulling them back with that tongue.
Yeah, absolutely. I do want to highlight a couple interesting talent choices here while we have actually in the top here, Sonya, maybe, nope, she's going to get away, no problem. Johanna has gone block, or her version of block, which I find very interesting.
Interesting. Though both tanks did not get their minion wave clearing.
Yeah, and Sonya actually also went block. Brightwing just going to use Peekaboo here, revealing the whole area around the tribute. Nice play by Giggle Pants. Trying to just zone out the enemy team, and so far they have controlled this choke point.
It's a nice hook on the Zagara. Unfortunately, there was no follow-up there. Johanna doing what she needs to do. She's out in front. And this is where the double tank is coming in really handy. They're doing a great job blocking. Condemn, Johanna, and Stitches is going to go down.
Yeah, great teamwork there by Power Raynors. They stuck together. They managed to drive back Sonya, and then Stitches came in for his turn just to try and delay. They stuck together, blew him up, and they made sure also that the body block was there for a hook.
Yeah,
so,
and that's exactly what I was hoping to see from this composition. Both the tanks out in front, Dahaka just being super annoying, Johanna completely throwing everybody off, and in these choke points, they can do that all day.
Yeah, and these builds are super unique, TBK. I'm going to try and take an opportunity to highlight. We have Hyper Shift and Peekaboo, which is not surprising, but mystified at level 7. Every time you use a basic for Brightwing, you reduce the cooldown of the trait. I have not seen this.
You don't see that often.
Yeah, it's not a common one, but very interesting overall. And there's like so much to highlight. But as I say that, the next tribute comes up. One tribute apiece, and House of Chez actually in a pretty good position here already. But now Chesvik's in a lot of trouble. Gets a Blizzard, lots of damage. Li Ming doesn't like that, attacking the backline. Now House of Chez in a bad position as they're pincered between this wall and the tribute.
Unfortunately, Dahaka came into that bush and tried to get a tongue out on Jaina, but missed, and that kind of ruined their engage as House of Chez is now pushing everybody back. They managed to grab the tribute, and they're just going to pull back.
Yeah, that's actually almost a repeat of the tribute on the bottom, but the fortunes were reversed as House of Chez did exactly the same thing. Did a lot of damage to Dahaka, forced them back, moved as a team, body block for Raynor, and then they got that tribute. So good job.
At the same time, I should point out that Zagara did stay bottom, and she has been pushing very hard, and that's actually resulted in about a half-level lead, where Power Raynors now have their level 10s.
All right, it's not Nidus. I'm sorry.
Dang it.
It's small. Isolation for Dahaka, Disintegrate for Li Ming, Blink Heal for Brightwing, that's probably not surprising, and Bless Shield for Johanna. Hopefully we'll see a lot more Falling Sword as of tomorrow's patch because the damage increase is huge. So I'm really hoping to see more of it. But for now, Bless Shield, pretty much considered to be the best of the two.
So for Power Raynors, this is a big tribute because this will give House of Chez the curse if they let them have it. Both teams are level 10, and so there's going to be a big fight around this. The tongue goes out onto Stitches. Hyperion goes down, so much damage going out. Maw comes down, and man, Power Raynors are going to have to back up a little bit.
Oh wow, the Gorge makes sure Zagara is dead, and yeah, Power Raynors really can't stay here. The Haka very low, but actually they almost get the turnaround kill on Sonya. The Divine Shield saves her. Raynors stunned. Johanna in the front trying to zone the enemy team out. I don't know why Power Raynors are going for the re-engage here, but it looks like Li Ming wants to try and get a reset. I don't think she's going to get it, and again, I don't know about Power Raynors' fortunes here, but they're actually starting to push them back, TBK. It's kind of even for the moment.
Yeah, I'm very surprised. Everybody is up still, but the blizzards, the snowstorm, that range increase on the blizzards just doing so much damage. The House of Chez is actually poking way better than Power Raynors is, and they're just going to have to give this up.
Yeah, it almost looked like Power Raynors could get that there. They were really pushing hard, but the blizzard almost single-handedly turned the fight. So much damage went out, and really not possible for Brightwing to like heal through that amount of burst on multiple targets.
No, and that's one of the weaknesses of having a Brightwing as your solo healer. Looks like this lone giant up at the top trying to take these towers down. He's gonna get it, guys.
Hashtag value.
That's right.
Giants.
Unfortunately, the value is about to turn as House of Chez is making a massive push on top. But they're getting pushed back in the middle. They're actually doing pretty good. They had their gates and tower down at the bottom, and so those are still getting worked through. Top is going down. Hyperion does go down for the extra damage, but Power Raynors, you're here to defend.
Power Raynors have to be careful. Oh, the leap comes in from Sonya. She's trying to open nice polymorph from the Brightwing. Brightwing is inside Stitches now, so this is bad. Even though House of Chez is low, Giggle Pants also very low. Oh, they won't get her. The Fairy Dragon is too slippery. Paulus in the front just absolutely zoning out the enemy team.
Beautiful tongue, too.
It's actually a good defense by Power Raynors. They don't lose that fort. And they
didn't lose any damage.
They didn't have their damage with them, TBK. It was 2 tanks and their support.
And that is the power of the zoning, right? They just zoned the heck out of House of Chez. They may have lost a tower or two. That fort is maybe half health, but honestly, that was about as good of a curse as they could have expected to get. That's really, really well done as far as defense goes.
You can just say it, TBK. That curse did almost nothing.
Yeah, it was almost worthless.
Worst case scenario for House of Chez, getting no value really out of that. In the bottom, however, it looks like Zagara is going to fall here. Oh no! I love this Brightwing TBK. Wow!
Oh my gosh!
There at the last moment, Sonya has to leap to get away. House of Chez very low on health. They need to be careful here. If they decide to stick around too long, there's a lot of damage that could come out of that Li Ming. But it looks like they are going to just disengage.
Well, not only that, no one has cleared the Zagara creep down bottom. So she had that speed boost, that entire gank. She was able to get away from basically a 4-man gank, partially because of her speed, and then the Brightwing coming in at the very last second to save her.
Yeah, absolutely. The creep spread on bottom is pretty good, and if that is allowed to remain there, then that's kind of a safe place for her to be. So it'd be interesting to see. They actually don't have a lot of great ways to remove it, I guess. Like, you could use Jaina, but long cooldowns, and
yeah, it's kind of a waste of your Blizzard almost.
It's kind of Stitches that needs to be doing it, I guess. But
yeah, he needs to be doing slams. That's about the cheapest thing they have.
Yeah.
Oh, Raynor caught out down at the bottom. The tongue, not quite enough as the the shot knocks Dahaka back.
Yeah, that's kind of an interesting interaction, actually, that the Raynor's able to sort of, like, if you can anticipate the tongue, you can make sure that, you know, you knock the Haka back. It's sort of interesting. But actually, Power Rangers have to be really careful here. They want to defend this fort. The truth is that if they want to get this tribute, there's a possibility they just lose the fort. And
Raynor is quite far behind, though.
And Hollis is just going all over this backline, TBK. Ring of Frost comes out, hits 3 targets. Wow, this is a disaster for Power Rangers. Even though Chez is very low and probably going to fall here. But no, wow, Power Rangers just turning it around.
Hyperion does come down. The Flash got Zagara, but he's so low himself that he is going to fall. Hot Dog now going to fall as well. And this was just a great team fight turnaround by Power Rangers.
Yeah, it looked really bad because Chez, like, they got the engage they wanted. And ultimately, it didn't matter. Like, the beefiness of Power Rangers able to outlast them in that initial burst.
Yeah, and this is the power of that double tank composition, right? They were able to zone so well that they were able to keep that Brightwing and Zagara alive. And so the fight lasted long enough that they didn't even end up needing that Li Ming. And then they go straight for House of Chez's Golem, which is just a beautiful play by them. They know House of Chez can't do anything about this.
And yeah, they're already starting the other one thanks to Brush Stalker / Teleport. They're already on the other boss. And House of Chez, like you said, has to respond to the boss up top. The Hawk is actually taking a lot of damage here, but they do have Johanna, so it's not really an issue. They can just swap them. And in the top, they're still working on that boss, but it looks like it will barely get that fort, TBK.
Well, and this is amazing timing for Power Rangers, because not only did they just grab the boss, they have a bottom tribute spawning with House of Chez completely up top, giving them as much time as they want to set up. And this is their curse. If they can get this curse with the boss pushing bottom, they should be able to get massive value. And there it is. They weren't in time.
It's a really scary prospect for Chez, too, because there's no real reason to fight down a talent here when you know you also have to clear the boss. Like, yes, you want to prevent that curse, but you just gave up a kill for basically no reason, and now you have even less damage to deal with the boss, and everything is cursed.
And so, Power Rangers is doing the smart thing. They're kind of postulating around here, waiting for that boss to come up, because no extra damage is going to be put out on that boss from the towers thanks to the curse. And unfortunately, they're just getting caught out. Raynor goes down, Jaina goes down, and Death and Karba are going to be super hard-pressed to stop this at all. The boss has no damage on him. This could technically be core right here.
Yeah, it depends really what happens in the next few seconds here, TBK. But I love that play from Hollis using the Blessed Shield to secure it, because now the onus is on Chez. They have to make something happen here. They're still not 16. They're about to be, but wow, this is a horrible situation for House of Chez.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot they can do. They're still down both of their damage dealers. The boss is finally taking damage. Maha goes down onto one member, and Uther just dies immediately as soon as he pops back up. This core is just dying a horrible death, and there's nothing that House of Chez can do.
Yeah, unfortunately, Chez actually had a pretty good composition to try and defend the core even down those levels. But they didn't, because of Jaina, like, they didn't get a chance to do it early enough, unfortunately. But you could see at the end there, the damage from Jaina was absolutely real. Like, so much damage went out, but it's just too little too late, unfortunately.
Well, and I think this was a tough call, right? Because they called to go down and defend that tribute. The problem was they were down a talent tier.
Yeah.
And so you almost have to wonder, would it have been better for them to just say, okay, guys, suck it up. We need to just farm to 16 and defense. Because otherwise we're going to be screwed. And they may have been screwed anyways, because they had a boss push on a curse. That's never a good deal.
No, you honestly you hit it right on the head. Like, you have to just say, well, it sucks that we're getting cursed, but if we go in there and we lose someone, we'd probably lose the game.
Yeah.
And ultimately that is what happened is they lost Stitches. It was the beginning of the end for their team. And it sucks to have to do that. It sucks to have to say, we can't fight this, give up the curse, and we need to defend this boss. But, you know, that's what happened. And if Stitches is on your team and he's alive, there's always a chance for a pick too, right? Like,
Yeah, because I mean, Stitches did go ahead and take that gorge. That gorge can be a huge game changer, not necessarily quite the Maw game changer, but at the same time, you can completely target and then move the character with gorge.
yeah, yeah. I really think Stitches, like, if he was alive there and he could get a good hook, it's hard to say. Like, it's still a very difficult defense for House of Chez, but that is an advantage that your opponents have to watch out for. If somebody gets hooked, if Jaina gets hooked, at that point she's
Yep.
gonna die.
Oh yeah.
And if Jaina is dead, that's a lot less poke that you have to contend with, and it's a lot easier to defend against the boss. But I get the urgency from House of Chez. You sort of think, you know what, like, let's fight, let's prevent the curse.
Yeah,
If
I
we
mean,
get a kill, we can turn
honestly,
around do boss.
that's definitely kind of a scare reaction, right? It's like, oh crap, there's a boss. Oh crap, there's a tribute. We got to stop this. But at the
Yeah,
same time, I mean, they could have lost anyways, even if they hadn't.
yeah.
But it's just a tough decision to make at the time in the moment.
It's
I mean,
also
we can see the overview, right? So it's tough to make those type of decisions.
it was also really, we should say this, we haven't said this yet, that Power Raynors, it was very fortunate placement for them, because
Yes,
the
that was
tribute
lucky.
right there, and what that basically enabled was they managed to secure the curse. The boss was actually pretty far back on lane when they capped the tribute. So if you're House of Chez, like, you can't come out on the lane because you're gonna get killed. You're
Yeah,
down a talent tier still, so you can't do that. And so it actually was very good placement for Power Rangers. Like, that's like best case scenario basically,
yeah,
for them. And at the end of the day, House of Chez, sort of a disastrous call to have Stitches go in there, but uh, like you said, it's just a rough. It was almost checkmate at that point. Like,
yeah.
you have to play it very carefully and get a little bit lucky, probably.
I definitely want to highlight that Dahaka. Or not even just the Dahaka, the two tank combo. Both
Yeah.
of those characters, Hollis and the Stink, really synergized well together and were able to really do a lot of blocking for their damage. Because there wasn't a lot of damage on that team, honestly. But they were able to block them enough to keep them alive and distract and be enough of an annoyance that the damage they have was really able to get so much work done.
What I actually really liked about the combination was that the stink on Dahaka was it's kind of the opposite of what you'd think, but most of the time what happened is that Hollis on Johanna went for the enemy's backline. He wanted to hit everybody with Condemn, and he wanted to hit the backline with his Punish, and Dahaka was sort of playing in the middle a little bit in team fights, and he had a couple good drags, and I actually really liked the combination. Hollis has like had a good sense of when to use his blessed shield also, and he
Yeah.
secured kills in a couple situations that were pretty key for his team. So I really like that. Johanna's like, unfortunately, sort of like a second or third choice for most people, uh, especially in the competitive scene when picking warriors. But I think that game really showcased how annoying it can be to have a Johanna in your back line.
Yeah. I mean,
So
that's a big deal that she may not have maybe some of the, and I don't even want to say utility because I feel like she has a ton of utility. I feel like she can just be super annoying even if she's not doing much damage, and sometimes that's what you need.
no, she's very annoying, and that's the other thing. Like, the punish from Johanna could really allow your damage dealers to get a lot of damage in, as the like enemies are slowed and they're trying to get away from you. And like, Hollis was playing very aggressively. Like,
Oh yeah.
he would see the enemy team and he'd be like, "Well, I want to get in the middle of all of you, so I hit every single person on your team with Condemn."
Yep.
And that can be kind of frustrating, and a little bit surprising,
Yeah, a little
because
intimidating
he'll
almost.
he'll be very far ahead of his team,
Yeah.
and using his trade, and like, you're like, why is this person doing this? And then suddenly a Li Ming orb hits you in the side, and like, for max damage, and you're like, oh, okay, that's why.
Yeah.
So well played by Power Rangers. Like, very solid
Yeah,
game overall.
very
And
much so.
I like the comp, like you said, double warrior. you don't see it usually like this, where it's like two kind of tanky warriors, but it worked out really well for them.
Mm-hmm. It really did. So congratulations to Power Raynors for winning that game.